Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lukhaup, and today I would like to take you with me to discover Sulawesi. Sulawesi is a kraken-shaped island that belongs to Indonesia and that has two lake systems that harbor endemic species, not only of freshwater shrimp, but also of snails, of fish, of crabs. And this is extremely exciting because the whole place is like a place to discover. So I want to take you with me to the central highlands of this island. Formerly Sulawesi was named Celebes, that has two ancient lake systems, Lake Poso and the Malili Lakes, that harbor these incredible, beautiful freshwater shrimp, the nicely colored snails. I'm sure that you have seen them in the trade as well. Of course, the crabs, but also interesting plants. My voice is not great today. I catch some kind of virus, and the last 2 weeks I was like nearly all the time sick. But the good thing is I can work on my computer and do more videos because I have a lot, mostly presented in German on the German channel, but of course I have to do it in English. So I want to tell you a little bit something about the Malili system. The three major lakes are Tovuti, Matano, and Mahalona, with two small satellite lakes that are called Masapi and Lontoa. And with approx 590 meters, Lake Matana is the eighth deepest lake worldwide. And some scientists from Canada measured the temperature with 27 to 29 degrees Celsius at the surface and around 27 at 560 meters. And I think it's amazing. Usually it gets colder. The lower you get in the lake, the deeper you get, the cooler the water gets, but not in this lake. The pH is about 7.4 with a conductivity of 224 microsiemens. And this also not changes with the depth. Amazing. Two of the Malili lakes, Matano and Tovuti, and Lake Poso are known to be oligotrophic, with a higher transparency of over 20 meters in the Malili system, although the three smaller lakes, Mahalona, Masapi, and Lontoa, are more shallow and probably have a higher nutrient content. But you will see that also on the video because I took film there, so and photos, of course, and there you can see the difference. So these lakes provide a very similar ecological properties for its inhabitants. This trip was sponsored by Denele, and with me, of course, the Planta Hunter, also from Denele, a company I worked for many years, still good friends with them. Then we have Frank and Carsten Logemann sitting here in the boat. These guys are also known from the hobby. The red bee shrimp has been named after Carsten and Frank. That's Cardina Logemani. And of course, Thomas von Rintelen. He's an expert on the lakes. He has been there many times. Thomas, and here you can see him, he's looking for snails. He's the world's leading expert on Tilomelania from the lakes, on Sulawesi in general. And also Thomas does my genetic for the Cherax. He does all the work that has to do with the genetics for the Cherax species I described. And when the species arrived to the trade, I think that was back in 2006, 2007, I remember I had a cover story on them, but there was not a lot of information out about these animals. So we have been just flashed by all these patterns, colors, and here you see a species that until today is still undescribed because science takes a while. And also the plants, same thing. When we arrived there, good that we had the Planta Hunter with us because he could tell at least the genus. But also we wanted to talk to the collectors of these shrimps and see how the whole process works from the catching to the keeping to the shipping and so on. So all that was important, but also, of course, I was curious to see if I could discover any new species, and later in the video you will find out about them, and I can tell you, yes, we found some. And when we arrived to Makassar, the biggest city in Sulawesi, I could listen to these roosters outside of the pet shop, really entertaining. And for the rest of the pet shop, that was really, I would say, or rather difficult for Western Europeans to like that, because the animals have been kept in small cages, too many of them. But I guess in Sulawesi, that's a little bit different. But here in Western Europe, this would cause a heart attack to most customers and to the veterinaries as well. From Makassar to the lakes, it's really a long ride. It took us, I think, about 12 to 14 hours, and the roads are a little bit difficult, and the best friend of the driver is the horn, because they use that all the time. So it was also not easy to relax in the car because, yeah, listening to the horn and always thinking that there will be an accident because they are the drivers from hell makes the thing difficult. We made some breaks, and while the guys had some beers, I went out to a river that was like draining into the sea, and I was pretty sure that I will find some fiddler crabs there. Probably I was looking also for Neretina and Cleton snails, and indeed I found a species that we know from the trade. That is Faunus ater. That's a species that lives in brackish and fresh water as well, but it reproduces just in salt water. Also, I found the fiddler crabs from the genus Uca, and these guys come out during a low tide when it's sunny, and they always try to impress the females. There have been a lot of colorful Uca crabs from different species, and I observed them for a while, had fun with them. Of course, it takes 12 to 14 hours if you don't stop. And I didn't put this in calculation because every little creek that I saw, I wanted to stop, just like this one. That's a beautiful creek, and I feel these places give me a lot of peace, and I just want to be left alone for a couple of hours to just explore them. But that would have taken days to go probably to the lakes. We found some described species, especially in this creek. There have been some crabs and some Tilmelania, but also Thomas found a new Tilmelania, but I'll let him explain this himself.
Eine neue Tyloart.
Basically what Thomas says here is that it's a new species that is widespread in the plains. They have big shells, and they like to live there where it's muddy, slimy, because probably there's a lot of nutrition. And for him, they are just beautiful, especially in the details.
Das sind jetzt jede Menge. Das ist jede Menge. Ja, das war jetzt 3 Sekunden sammeln. Wenn man die richtige Stelle hat, findet man gleich einen Endzufüll.
And to make things easier for you, I made also 2 posters, one with the names of the shrimp and one with the names of the snails. So this was the first part of the video, the lakes and the way to the lakes. We will have then a part 2, 3, maybe even 4 and 5, depends on what stories I can remember. I will present you, of course, the new species, exciting species that you have never seen before. Thanks a lot for watching. I see you very soon.